watching 3TV.
You like this test?
Loving it.
I do too.
Loving it.
These guys are going to be playing at the Bird's Nest on Saturday. We've got Kid Rock Friday, Darius Rucker Thursday.
That's right.
Man, that's quite the lineup.
It's amazing.
It's
Then
so
Afro
much
Jack,
fun.
who we're listening to. You know, you get a good song, you take a good look at a view like that. Nothing better than starting out your day like that. So thank you for being with us on this Wednesday morning. I'm Tess Raffles.
And I'm Scott Passmore. Yeah, we appreciate it. Let's check in with April to find out about some changes headed our way.
If you're headed out this morning for a little walk or a hike, you probably noticed the cloud cover out there. And it is going to be a little bit cooler today, but rain chances, they're pretty slim. We've got a better chance the further north you go in our state. And eastern Arizona getting in on this as well. Here's the storm moving through our state this morning. For the valley, we do have a slight chance for some sprinkles today. But more likely, again, that's not going to come this far south. In fact, if we zoom in here and take off the satellite picture, the cloud cover, you'll see we've got a little bit of light rain starting to move into northwestern portions of Maricopa County. And we are going to keep that slight chance of rain in your forecast today. Temperatures right now look like this: 49 in Glendale, 48 in Avondale and Chandler, 52 right now in Tempe, and 54 in Scottsdale, 51 in Gilbert, Mesa, and downtown Phoenix. We'll be about 61 by 10 a.m. A cloudy morning, but we'll see a little sunshine later today. Chance of rain, I put it at about 10%. 67 by noon today and 72 this afternoon. We're going to look at the winds picking up a little bit today, and they'll pick up even more tomorrow. In fact, I think tomorrow is going to be downright windy across the valley. So a heads up on that, Gina, for sure.
All right. Well, you know, in the 8 o'clock hour, we see a second wave of rush hour come out of Ahwatukee on the I-10. We're seeing just that, and you add in an accident, it makes things extra slow. Let me go ahead and show you I-10 westbound of Guadalupe. That's where the accident scene is. You can see it's not blocking any lanes. It's actually off to the right there on the shoulder, but you are going to see brake lights starting back at about the 202 Santan transition, leading up through the Broadway curve. Once you get to about the 143 40th Street, that's where it finally starts to break up for you.
Our top story that we're following on this Wednesday morning: the ASU police officer facing official termination after a controversial video involving the arrest of a professor. Jill is at ASU this morning with more on this hearing taking place. Good morning, Jill.
Good morning, Scott. During this hearing scheduled for later today, we are expected to learn once and for all, will Stuart Farron be able to keep his badge as an ASU police officer, or will he be officially terminated? This is what we are very interested to see, exactly what is said and what is decided on later today. Farron received notice of termination earlier this month. This is a decision that he is now appealing, and he will be making his case about later today during this hearing. You may recall Farron was placed on administrative leave after he was seen on camera throwing ASU professor Ursula Orr to the ground as he arrested her. Well, this video went viral. An FBI investigation later denied any use of excessive force during this arrest, and Farron himself maintains he did nothing wrong. Meanwhile, Orr was sentenced to 9 months probation after pleading guilty to resisting arrest. Now, these are among the reasons that Farron says he has appealed this decision and is going to continue to fight for his job while also keeping his main focus on his family.
My family's been dragged through the mud a little bit. My name's been dragged through the mud, and I look at it as I have a baby who is due, a wife who's due in just a matter of days. And if I get terminated, I'm going to lose out on health benefits and stuff like that. So we're optimistic. We're staying positive. Like I told somebody else, you know, I look forward to having a badge back on my chest.
Well, we will have to wait and see. A final decision is expected to be made today during this hearing. We will be there for that and have more on what is said and what's ultimately decided later on.
Jill, thank you for that. Also, Mesa police are weighing in on claims from a Mesa mom who says her daughter was beaten up for, quote, having black girl hair. Well, here's the story. Lacey Morgan says several kids attacked her 8-year-old daughter Larissa on Friday, kicking her and slamming her to the ground. However, a police report released yesterday says Larissa was picking on a little boy and that his sister told her to stop. Police say when she didn't, she punched Larissa and the two got into a scuffle. Officers told the kids to stay away from each other. The mom believes more should be done when kids hurt each other. A Glendale man is behind bars after police say he attacked his own mom. Investigators say Isaac Benson grabbed his mother by the throat after she got out of the shower, telling her he was sorry, but that he had to kill her. After she passed out, police say Benson then stabbed himself. He said nothing in his initial court appearance. He is being held right now without bond.
The time right now is 8:05. Jody Arias is back in court this morning, and jurors can expect to hear more graphic testimony. The defense continues their main point that Travis Alexander was an abusive and manipulative boyfriend. A defense expert and psychologist were on the witness stand, focusing on texts, emails, and other communications between the victim, Travis Alexander, and several of the other women in his life. Now, much of yesterday's testimony was not heard during Arias's first trial, in which the jury was unable to decide on a sentence. A Phoenix man accused of stabbing and killing his roommate says he's not guilty. Police say Michael Cooper couldn't pay his tab at a restaurant. Police showed up, took him to a mental health facility where he confessed to, quote, doing something bad to his roommate. Detectives later found the body of Stephen Horkovy at an apartment near 19th Avenue and Northern. A prominent Arizona trial judge claims she didn't know her live-in boyfriend was a convicted felon and fugitive. In a statement released earlier this week, Maricopa County Judge Catherine Cooper says she had no idea about Michael Krause's past until he was arrested at her home. Krause is a registered sex offender wanted in New York for theft. Judge Cooper says he's no longer staying at her Phoenix home.
An Arizona couple had to be rescued by helicopter after spending the night stranded along the Colorado River. This happened north of Yuma Sunday night. The husband and wife were stranded when the engine on their boat quit, leaving them in water too shallow for rescue boats, but too deep for vehicles. So a helicopter from the Yuma Marine Air Corps Station was called in, and they were able to airlift that couple to safety. A prehistoric cave that has stood for centuries has been damaged by vandals. The site, known as Jordan Cave near Sedona, dates back to the Pueblo people who lived in Arizona hundreds of years ago. Well, vandals were seen removing rocks and throwing them over a steep embankment. So now the Forest Service is trying to track them down. So take a good look at this picture. Investigators say it appears to show the suspects in the act. So if you know who these folks are, contact the Forest Service. What a shame.
Yeah, that is too bad. A three-year-old, all right, in Colorado is denied Medicaid because he apparently made too much money to qualify.
Medicaid, huh?
Mm-hmm. According to records from the Colorado Department of Labor and Employment, Kenai Zamora's 2014 income was a little over $6,500, disqualifying his family from their Medicaid benefits. So, obviously a mistake after calling the labor and employment offices. A spokesperson admitted their data entry staff made a type of error while entering a Social Security number. Now that the issue is resolved, the family can laugh about it.
Kenai, I said, so where's all this money you're hiding from me? And he says, I play with my toys, okay? And that's his answer.
A spokesperson for Jefferson County Human Services says anytime there's an income discrepancy, a warning letter is automatically sent out, even when that customer turns out to be a mere 3 years old. A toddler just wanting to play with his toys.
All right, there is the 3D prosthetics, 3D cars. How about a 3D home? It is possible. We're going to show you the design of this coming up in just a little bit.
So I was making the payments, and all of a sudden they just came and turned the water off. That's when I found out.
A Phoenix woman says the city shut off her water after sending her a bill that was way higher than it should have been. 3 on Your Side finds out what led up to this mistake.
Well, a mostly cloudy morning giving way now to some blue sky, a little sunshine out there. We have some weather changes on the way. I'll tell you about those coming up next in the forecast.
Let the relationship progress at a nice, relaxed speed.
Sounds like a plan.
Make a date with Mike and Molly.
Weekdays at 5 on CW6.
Good Morning Arizona is brought to you by Ashley Furniture Home Store, the #1 name in furniture.
What if an insurance company was also a rescue you even in the dead of night company? You'd probably feel a bit safer, which, when you think about it, is the whole point of insurance. Welcome to Insurance the AAA way.
Fresh cracked every morning just for you. The Savory Sausage McMuffin with egg, made with a grade A egg. And now only $1.99 every morning.
The Lazy Boy Furniture Gallery's factory authorized clearance. Save big on unequaled Lazy Boy comfort and quality. With prices marked down on chairs, sofas, and sectionals. Save up to 50% on floor samples, closeouts, one-of-a-kinds, and more. Special financing available. Savings direct from our Lazy Boy factory to you. But get here soon. When they're gone, they're gone. Save up to 50% during the factory authorized clearance. Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries. Live life comfortably.
17, please. 17, please.
17.
It's time to freshen your routine with Quick Trip's new in-store kitchens. Get delicious personal pizzas, mouth-watering pretzels, tempting frozen treats, and hearty kolaches, all made fresh, and fresh is good.
Here you go.
Thank you.
See you next time.
Think fresh. Think made to order. Think Quick Trip.
What's your home's greatest threat? Fire, storms, theft? Or is it your insurance? AAA agents are experts at helping you protect your home with just the right coverage. Welcome to Insurance the AAA way.
Time right now is 8:12. A Phoenix woman says a mistake made by the city's water department is putting her in a financial bind. So she turned to 3 on Your Side's Gary Harper, who now has the details on what went wrong.
Well, let's face it, a lot of people are on a very strict budget and live paycheck to paycheck. But for a Phoenix woman, in tonight's 3 on Your Side report, she says her budget is blown for quite a while, all due to a mistake made by the city's water department.
No, the water pipe's right there, so there's nothing that is being connected to it.
Due to some home renovations, Selena Soto doesn't have any running water inside of her Phoenix kitchen.
We started doing this around August.
But the rest of her home does have water, and her monthly water bill is usually around $150. So she was a little concerned when she received a letter from the city of Phoenix demanding a large payment.
And that there was a previous balance of a total of almost $900.
$862 to be exact, and most of that balance was because the city of Phoenix claims it failed to generate a water bill for Selena from May through October.
Just because they say that I owe a balance of that, well, I need to know why and how it got there.
The city of Phoenix said it would investigate, but told Selena she should make payments until they straighten things out.
And they said, well, the meter wasn't being read, so you were not being charged what you were being charged. I said, well, why didn't you guys tell me before? You know, why wait until November since it was going on since May?
Despite the confusion, Selena says she agreed to continue making payments.
So I was making the payments, and all of a sudden they just came and turned the water off.
The city turned Selena's water back on the next day, but she still had plenty of questions about her bill, like why did the city fail to generate a water bill for 6 months? And how could they expect a homeowner like Selena to pay nearly $900 all at once? So she contacted 3 on Your Side.
I got really frustrated, and I've seen you guys help out other people. So that was my last resort.
In an email to 3 on Your Side, a city spokesperson acknowledged the city's mistake, saying a back billing issue occurred when billing statements were not generating for 6 months from May through November, although the meter reads obtained were valid. In other words, Selena did use water the 6 months the city failed to send her a bill, and she still has to pay for the water she used. The city also claims Selena has a poor payment history, which racked up fees. Regardless, after 3 on Your Side got involved, the city agreed to waive more than $200 in fees and also agreed to keep Selena on a payment plan for the next couple of months until the balance is paid off. But even on a payment plan, Selena says the city's mistake is really putting her in a financial jam.
I have no way of coming up with that amount. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Well, Selena says coming up with 6 months of service is absurd, even if she is on a payment plan. And again, the City of Phoenix Water Department is telling 3 on Your Side, sorry, we had an equipment issue, and she's going to have to pay up. I'm Gary Harper, 3 on Your Side.
Time now is 8:15, and the commute into Scottsdale is thickest in the 8 o'clock hour, and you can see living up to its reputation. That's the 101 northbound at Thomas in the East Valley. If this is your freeway, actually not that bad. This is probably the thickest part of the commute. You're going to see brake lights as far back as McAllips, McDowell, and that general area. We had an accident up at Chaparral. It just cleared out, so by the time you get to Chaparral, you will be good to go. Let's take a look at the rest of the north overview here. The 101 eastbound, the commute into Scottsdale here also slow, but slowest now from about the 51 over to Scottsdale Road. The 51 itself, you're going to see your brake lights still as you come out of that Dreamy Draw and you start to approach Northern down to about Camelback Indian School in that general area. And look at the I-17, still very slow at this hour. Usually we're recovering from the morning rush hour, but from the Metro Center down to the I-10 stack transition, you're still looking at a 24-minute ride. Looking at the West Valley overview, you know, you West Siders on this I-10, it's the first to move into the rush hour. It's the last freeway to recover. 75th Avenue in through downtown, you're still looking at a 30-minute drive time, so give yourself a little extra time there. And then if we take you to northern Arizona, ADOT tweeted this picture out here. The I-40 is basically on the west side of Flagstaff. It looks like, according to their tweet, looks like a dusting of snow overnight along the I-40 in Flagstaff. And to my meteorologist friend, no surprise to you to see this picture.
Yeah, you know what? This is what we're looking at here. That I-40 near Flagstaff, we're talking about 1 inch to 2 inches of snow in that area. And you can see the roads don't look too bad out there this morning. But thanks, Gina, for pulling up that picture. We've been taking a look this morning in northern Arizona where they're getting hit by a storm that really doesn't look like it's going to bring a whole lot of rain to the valley, but definitely some snow up north this morning on I-40. Let's switch over to Doppler 360 here and talk about the radar. We've had around of snow this morning along I-40 in Flagstaff. They're getting a break right now, but it looks like there's a little bit more pushing in along I-40 from Williams and Parks and over toward Flagstaff right now, getting some new snow up on the San Francisco peaks as well. It's great news for skiers and for snowboarders as well. Some of this now moving over further east into the higher elevations of the Mogollon Rim and into the White Mountains of eastern Arizona. Again, most areas are not going to see more than 1 inch or 2 of snow out of this. It's not a major winter storm in terms of precipitation, but it's going to drive some windy weather, and it's going to bring a cold air mass into our state, mainly tomorrow for northern Arizona. Going to get a lot colder and windy tomorrow as well. It's not going to be feeling good up there in northern Arizona. More on the winds in a moment. First, a look here at Doppler 360 across the valley. We've got some clouds out there this morning, but no rain. The most we've seen is a little bit of light shower activity up near spots like Wickenburg earlier this morning and Black Canyon City. And northern portions here of Maricopa County have probably the best chance of getting some of that light rain today. The rest of us, a sprinkle or two is probably all we're going to see out of this at the most. And here's a broader look here, and you can see the storm as it sweeps through our state. The first really of 2 storms. The next storm is going to drop down from the north tomorrow, and that one's going to drive some windy conditions. Today, we're looking at windy conditions mainly in western Arizona. Bullhead City, 26-mile-an-hour winds right now, and that Colorado River Valley is going to see those strong northerly winds today. Breezy elsewhere. Sedona's got 18-mile-an-hour winds right now, but tomorrow, look for stronger winds that are going to be more widespread across the state. They'll still be out of the north or northeast. And for the valley, our 6-mile-an-hour winds that we've got right now are going to look more like 15 to 20-mile-an-hour winds tomorrow with some gusts up to 30 miles an hour. Tomorrow's going to be a bit cooler as well. Today's a little cooler than the last couple of days have been. We've kind of stayed in the mid-70s this week so far. Today, upper 60s, low 70s, still a little above average for this time of year. 70 today in Surprise, about 69 in your neighborhood in Avondale, and 72 for downtown Phoenix and Scottsdale, 72 for Ahwatukee as well, and upper 60s in Anthem. East Valley, 69 your high today in Chandler. Breezy, partly sunny, 71 in Mesa, AJ, and Queen Creek, and 70 today in Gilbert. Tomorrow, we're dropping back to the 60s across the valley, about 66 for your high, and windy. Lots of sunshine, though. Blue sky continues into Friday, a high of 67. Less wind on Friday, and we're going to start to warm it up. We will be back in the 70s for a dry weekend ahead.
All right, thank you very much. In the buzz this morning, as we take a look at some entertainment news, she's multi-talented, but watch what you call her.
Yeah, we are talking about Jennifer Lopez, J-Lo. Let's face it, most of us would love to look like J-Lo in our 40s.
At any age, really?
Yeah, and after having multiples, right, my friend? But singer Jennifer Lopez is getting some flack today about something that most guys might never even hear about, dating someone who is younger. There are rumors that she's dating her co-star from her new film, The Boy Next Door. J-Lo's 45. Actor Ryan Guzman is 27. So the term cougar is getting thrown around. Not sure if this is for real, since the whole plot of the movie is about her character having a one-night stand with quote-unquote the boy next door, who then develops a dangerous obsession with her. You know, she's going to be on our show at 9 o'clock, so in about an hour, so we'll just ask her about it then. But you know what? If a dude started dating a gal that young,
other way around.
I say, you go, girl.
What would they be doing with that guy? You know what the other guys would be doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I say.
Sometimes it doesn't run like a two-way street. 8:21 right now. All right, sweethearts have been a Valentine's Day staples. We're talking about the candy, of course, for more than a century. But this year, a few will have a whole new message.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all thanks to a special little girl. The phrase, pugs and kittens, can be found in this year's mix of sweethearts. The new saying comes from 11-year-old Gracie, who won Necco's inaugural box contest. Gracie, she suffers from cystic fibrosis, and she won the contest during her third year of being homeschooled. She was homeschooled because of some health complications. She's a dog lover, and she decided to use some of her $1,000 grand prize to go on an all-day Westie rescue mission with her mom. So pretty cool.
Great job. Senior Chief Eric Wynn was part of a top-secret mission yesterday, and we mean top secret. This enlisted the help of faculty at a Washington State middle school. This is a story that we love.
Yes.
Wynn has been on an anti-piracy mission in Bahrain for the last 6 months and wasn't supposed to return home until this summer, but he was recently granted the chance to go home for a quick break. You know where we're going this, so he decided to surprise his 13-year-old son, Elijah. Here he is, coming into his classroom at school.
Oh my God. He's my biggest fan, and I'm his hero, and that's what dads are supposed to be. Surprise.
Oh. Wynn is home until the 31st, when he flies back to the Persian Gulf for what will likely be his final tour of duty.
You and I are just
I know, we're just like, all right, let's just watch this.
I can watch this all day, every day. And you know what? If you're having a bad day, here you go. This should put you in a great mood. We're so grateful for our men and women in the armed forces.
Welcome back home, and we'll be right back, Arizona.
Join me for the Dr. Phil Show, weekdays at 3, right here on 3 TV.
Love your car, but not your payment? Desert Schools can help, and we'll even pay you to refinance your auto loan with us. Up to $500 with 1% cash back. And with rates as low as 2.84%, imagine the savings on your monthly payment. You may also have up to 90 days before your first payment. That's a solution you can love as much as your ride. Refinance your first mortgage to save even more with Arizona's largest local credit union with over 50 branch locations. At Desert Schools, we're here for you.
Thinking of filing bankruptcy? Are you afraid you can't afford an attorney? For great service and affordable fees throughout Arizona, call the Oswalt Law Group now. We offer no money down to start and easy payments. Call 602-225-2222. Call now.
us be your short drive to a spring escape, to a place that's far from routine. Let us show you the art of the splash and roll out the green carpet for your long game. Let us sprinkle the sky with stars and be the place you always take with you, no matter where you travel. The Ritz-Carlton Dove Mountain. Let us stay with you. Rates from $359 per night with a $100 daily resort credit.
Oh, I can hear that sizzle getting louder and louder. Philly cheesesteak and egg sizzling with prime rib and gooey cheese. I better just silence this sizzle. The new Philly cheesesteak and egg skillet. Denny's, welcome to America's Diner.
We've got big things going on at the Meredith Vieira Show. All week long, we are live. On the next show, Matt Lauer is back. Plus, Parenthood's Lauren Grant on the next Meredith Vieira Show.
Today at 11 on 3TV.
Amazon is pulling the plug on its Amazon Wallet beta today, just 6 months after it launched the service. Amazon is not saying whether it will return or not. Users will still be able to use the gift, loyalty, or membership cards store on the app, but wallet balances will no longer be updated after today, so that means users will have to track their own balances. A 3D printer has now constructed an entire apartment building. Chinese architectural firm Winsun has created this 5-story, 12,000 square foot apartment building complete with decorative elements. The structure assembled on site with steel reinforcements and insulation in order to comply with official building standards. Officials say the process saves between 30 to 60% of construction waste and can decrease production times and labor costs between 50 and 70%. And all the building cost $161,000 to build. That is absolutely amazing. More Good Morning Arizona coming right back at you.
College debt hits so many people's bottom line.
It's a terrible problem that's really affecting all of our economy.
But there are ways to avoid drowning in it.
There are scholarships out there for everything.
We showed you practical ways to save money.
There are lots of ways to save, and one of the ways is parents can help their kids by filling out FAFSA, the free application for federal student assistance.
3TV, helping you prosper and grow, even if there's less money in the family bank account.
There is no reason that a student should ever pay retail price for college.
It's Mattress Firm's Easy Savings Event. And for the next 72 hours, get easy savings of up to $200 on a Sealy Queen set, just $298.99. Mattress Firm.
The new Jetta and the new Jetta TDI Clean Diesel from Volkswagen. They're both fun to drive. Fuel efficient and affordable. Yeah, the new Jetta has a low starting price and Bluetooth now comes standard. Wow. Amazing. And the Jetta TDI has a new engine and gets up to 667 highway miles on a single tank. You trying to one-up me? Hey, I'm just stating the facts.
Hurry in and get 1.9% APR for 60 months on 2015 Jetta models, or lease the 2015 Jetta S for $159 a month.
The Lazy Boy Furniture Gallery's factory authorized clearance. Save big on unequaled Lazy Boy comfort and quality. With prices marked down on chairs, sofas, and sectionals. Save up to 50% on floor samples, closeouts, one-of-a-kinds, and more. Special financing available. Savings direct from our Lazy Boy factory to you. But get here soon. When they're gone, they're gone. Save up to 50% during the factory authorized clearance. Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries. Live life comfortably.
Chick-fil-A and Ritz BCS present Monster Jam. Brought to you by Chuck Franklin Mall. Kids seats are just $10 with a kids ticket voucher from participating Phoenix Chick-fil-A restaurants. Last year's show sold out. Buy your tickets now so you don't get shut out. This Saturday, Chase Field.
Smile Fitness Dental Centers covers all areas of general dentistry, implants, cosmetics, and emergencies. Come in for a cleaning, x-ray, and exam for just $15.
It's simple, my friend. We care about you.
Online at smilefitnessdentalcenters.com.
going to be on the show coming up?
Super excited. In our 9 o'clock hour, we are talking live with the J-Lo herself, Jennifer Lopez. Guess who quickly grabbed up that interview?
I saw that.
Yeah, I was like, I don't see it in the show, in the rundown. We have a little computer that shows us what's coming up. Oh, that's because Javier said, I'm taking that interview.
Oh, Javi's already got it. You know, she seems, I don't know much about her. She's so pretty and everything. She seems very normal to me. You know, you hear about some of these people that...
I think she has taken where she's come from, appreciates where she's come from, built something on her own, and it's,
We're gonna
super
do that,
successful.
I think at about 9:20, is that right?
That's correct, so you'll want to stick around, not go anywhere. No. And it's exactly at, what time was it? Our producer
9:20?
9:06.
9:06,
exactly.
oh, my bad, I'm sorry.
We'll have to
I would
tweet
have
that out
tuned in at 9:20.
And you would have missed it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you were going to leave.
Not really.
Yeah, we're going to be here till 10. We've got interesting weather outside this morning, some clouds and even some light rain across parts of the valley. We've got right now temperatures that are in the upper 40s, low 50s. We've got 49 in Glendale, 50 in downtown Phoenix, and 54 in Scottsdale, 51 right now in Tempe, and 47 current temperature in Chandler. Here's where we're headed this afternoon. Upper 60s, low 70s. Not too bad, but it's a little cooler than where we've been recently. It's also going to be partly cloudy and a little bit breezy today. Upper 60s for Avondale, 70 in Glendale and Mesa, 72 for Scottsdale and Tempe, and 72 also for downtown Phoenix. More changes on the way for tomorrow. We'll talk about that coming up in your full forecast. Gina? All right, let's go ahead and talk about your traffic. We've got a brand new accident we need to warn everybody about. Good morning to you. Before you walk out the door, let me show you the accident scene we're keeping an eye on. It's not actually on the freeway, but right where Highland meets the State Route 51. Can you see the accident there? Phoenix PD just showed up, the motor officer there. It's partially blocking the intersection, so maybe you need to go down there by the Biltmore, right there by 20th Street, Camelback, in that general area. That's where you're going to find this accident.
Our time right now is 8:31. It's made lots of headwaves. We're talking about a video that went viral of the arrest of an ASU professor that now has an officer possibly losing his job permanently. This was all thanks to technology, and although it was dash cam video, the call to have more officers wear body cameras is now getting louder. Javier Soto explains it's a topic of discussion for a meeting set for tonight. Javier?
Good morning to you. Nationally and locally, the actions of police officers are being called into question. But if their every move were recorded, would that change that discussion? Well, according to an ASU study, it found that it would alter that discussion, and in most cases in favor of police officers. Now, that study, as well as whether Phoenix police officers should wear body cameras, will be the topic of discussion tonight in a community meeting. A federally funded pilot study done in partnership with ASU's Center for Violence Prevention found Phoenix Police Department's body-worn camera program showed complaints against officers who wore cameras dropped 23%, while complaints against those who did not rose 11%. Now, in April of 2013, officers at the Maryvale precinct were split into two groups. One wore cameras, the others did not. ASU researchers then tracked more than 2,000 domestic violence cases from start to finish, and they found that officers wearing cameras were more likely to result in guilty pleas and verdicts in those cases. Now, the camera typically attaches to the chest or the officer's collars, and they record each shift from start to finish. That data is then stored for a period of time. Now, the downfall seems to be the cost of the cameras. According to Mesa Police Department, in 2013, it cost them $67,000 to buy 50 cameras. And as you can imagine, there are certainly more officers in that department that didn't get them. Now, that all will be the topic of discussion tonight in a community meeting taking place at Cortez High School at 6 o'clock. The public is welcome. Back to you.
Javi, thank you. At the state capitol today, State Superintendent Diane Douglas will give her State of Education address to the House Education Committee. Douglas will outline her future plans for education. The speech scheduled around 2 o'clock this afternoon. Douglas beat out Democrat David Garcia for the position, and during the election, she vowed to repeal Common Core here in Arizona. State lawmakers struggling to fix Arizona's major budget deficit After campaigning on the promise of no new taxes, Governor Ducey has some people wondering if he's maybe going back on that pledge. Lawmakers started going through the governor's budget proposal yesterday, and many were surprised to see him calling for a new fee. He is proposing a $7 increase to your vehicle registration fee. That money would go to DPS for highway patrol, and we talked to some of the folks down at MVD about that potential hike.
Not happy about it.
How'd you feel about another $6 or $7 on top of that?
Well, I think it's high enough already, but so I hope they don't raise it.
No, I don't want to pay another $6 or $7 a year.
For somebody with a high income to pay an additional $7 may not impact them as heavily as someone with a low income that's trying to make, this is an hour of work for them.
It all adds up. Spokesman for the governor insists that he is not going back on a campaign promise of no new taxes because he sees this as an agency fee and not a tax. Speaking of the governor, he says he's withdrawing a proposal over donations for veterans, and that would have used donation money from vets from Iraq and Afghanistan to help operate 3 veteran cemeteries. The proposal would have taken $900,000 from donation money and be put towards those cemeteries, but now his office says they will find another way to pay for them.
A huge sigh of relief for Valley commuters. Turns out there won't be a bus strike after all during the Super Bowl and that week. Phoenix Mayor Greg Stanton announced the Union and First Transit, which operates more than a dozen bus routes around the valley, have reached an agreement. He says both sides worked hard to get a last-minute deal done. A strike could have had a huge impact on, well, regular bus drivers and, of course, those who are in town for the Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl is incredibly important to all of us. But we sometimes forget how important Super Bowl Central and the 1 million people that will be visiting downtown, how important that is for working families in Phoenix.
Now, the mayor wouldn't go into the specifics of the agreement, but union leaders say it's fair, and they're pushing bus drivers to vote yes on the contract.
2014, definitely a scandalous year for the NFL, but it was a great year for the league's bottom line. A team marketing report says attendance was up 2% at NFL stadiums last year, while ticket prices rose 3.5%. TV ratings also very strong, despite the fact the NFL has been under intense criticism for its handling of domestic abuse cases involving some of the players. And the 2015 Pro Bowl set for Sunday in Glendale. Stadium preps well underway for not only the Pro Bowl, but of course the Super Bowl, which will be played the following Sunday. Meantime, here's the schedule for the Pro Bowl. The draft takes place today. Michael Irvin and Chris Carter will be the captains, and they will select their teams around 6 o'clock this evening. The first practice held tomorrow at Luke Air Force Base.
And now to the Super Bowl and the controversy involving the New England Patriots. Turns out those Deflategate rumors are true. According to ESPN, the New England Patriots underinflated 11 of their 12 allotted game footballs by 2 pounds per square inch. This, of course, for Sunday's AFC Championship games. The Patriots are, as you know, are headed to the Super Bowl after beating the Indianapolis Colts 45-7 in that game. So, did the balls make a difference?
So, of course, the joke going around social media is all about, well, just look it up yourself. Bob Marley has fans that were born long after he died, but we may have found his youngest fan.
This is too cute. This is making the rounds right now on the internet. Meet 2-year-old Rasta Miles Kingston Sadler. Miles does Bob Marley impressions, jams out to his songs, including this one of Get Up, Stand Up. His parents are from Haiti and Jamaica and say reggae music's always playing in their house, but they never expected their son to pick it up so soon. Mom says he started singing Marley around his first birthday and now does Marley moves, picks up the right instruments for certain songs. He even has about 20 videos on YouTube. His fan base also growing. Can we take a listen to this?
How cute is he, huh?
He's got the beat. Look at him.
Wow. If he can learn to play that guitar, he's on his way.
He's got the moves. Look at him go.
He does.
Adorable.
All right, we're about a week and a half away from the Super Bowl, but less than a week from all the fun that comes with it.
Yeah, coming up, if you plan on renting your house or a room to make some extra cash, there are some things you need to do now to protect your home and your money. We'll have the details on that coming up.
Shaping up to be a nice day across the valley. We've got some clouds out there and even a few sprinkles. A live look from the Arizona Science Center over the valley shows we're off to a gorgeous start. We'll talk about the rain chances coming up next.
Stand up for your right. Get up, stand up, get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. You're right. Don't give up the fight.
Fields Mosley and Jamie Soretta on Good Evening Arizona. Weekdays at 4 on 3 TV.
With this ring, I promise that I'll always love you, always love you. With this
Fresh cracked every morning just for you. The savory sausage McMuffin with egg, made with a grade A egg. And now only $1.99 every morning.
could fit in a band of gold, but I'm telling you, darling, I feel it in my heart, got it in my soul. Da, 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 da.
Tapping them, activating this feature, and blocking
I don't know. I think everything's better if you use it on the server side.
I got it. Hey, I wonder who this is, guys. Look, it's my new Wi-Fi modem from Cox. I forgot this was coming today. Wow. Guess I have the fastest internet now.
Wow.
Let's go install it!
Yeah!
Trust the nerds. Get access to the fastest in-home Wi-Fi from Cox with high-speed internet as low as $19.99 a month, and ask how to get a $200 prepaid card.
First impressions are important. You've got to make every second count. Banking designed for the way you live your life. So you can welcome your family home for the first time. Chase, so you can.
The Lazy Boy Furniture Gallery's factory authorized clearance. Save up to 50% on floor samples, closeouts, one-of-a-kinds, and more. Plus special financing available. The factory authorized clearance. Don't miss it. Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries. Live life comfortably.
Sculpting the sleek body of the all-new Mercedes-Benz GLA took nearly 600 pounds of high-strength steel. Setting industry-leading safety standards took 20,800 crash simulations. And perfecting its engine took over 1.1 million miles of extreme driving. But this may be the most impressive number of all. Introducing the all-new Mercedes-Benz GLA. Lease the GLA 250 4MATIC for $369 a month at your local Mercedes-Benz dealer.
I was born in Cincinnati, Ohio, and lived in Wisconsin, Connecticut, Pittsburgh, and St. Louis before I landed in Phoenix, Arizona. I graduated from ASU. Go Sun Devils! Met the love of my life on a blind date. Now I'm having the time of my life raising my 2 girls and working on a show that is interesting, informative, and most of all, fun. It's a dream job come true. I hope you'll join me for all the best Arizona has to offer. It's Your Life A to Z, weekdays at 10 on 3 TV.
With the Super Bowl almost here, lots of Valley residents are opening their homes for a profit. They are renting their homes or maybe even rooms. But before you advertise, there are some things you need to know. And joining us is our expert this morning, Bob Hawkinsmith, to help us avoid some pitfalls that you might run into. Good morning.
Good morning, Scott.
Which I guess would be what? People not paying or trashing your house?
That's the biggie right there. Making sure people don't steal your stuff and tear your house up.
So what's the number one thing you have to do first of all?
Well, the first thing you want to do is obviously make sure that you've got a good insurance policy with your homeowner's policy, number one. 2, make sure that the people renting your house also have insurance in the event that they tear the place up.
Right.
Now, most companies that help you rent your house out, they check all this out for you. They're pretty good about that.
Right.
You also want to make sure you have a good lease agreement, right? Get the security deposit up front. There's an escrow account that people put the money into so that you know you're going to get the money if something happens. And then most people actually pay the entire lease for the rental up front, and it goes into the escrow account as well.
I guess, what about taxes? Do you have to pay taxes?
Here's the story on that. If you rent your home for 14 days or less, no matter how much money you get for renting your home, it is tax-free. That's
I like
the biggie.
that.
Yeah.
What else should you do just to make sure that everything goes smoothly?
Some of the things you want to do is make sure that in addition to the renter's insurance, that you have some type of a backup plan in case something breaks in your home. Because obviously breaks do happen.
Right.
So if something happens, you want to make sure you can satisfy these people when they're renting the place.
Right.
Some people ask for a chef to be available. Some people ask for a pool to be available, or a car to be available, or a maid, especially.
Actually, that benefits you as a homeowner because you know your place is going to stay pretty clean.
Exactly. And candidly, what some people do is they come in and clean the place themselves because that way they can see what's going on in the house.
Good point.
Yeah.
Exactly. Now, would you meet with these people before they actually take the keys and possession?
It depends on who's renting your property. If you're renting the property yourself, like you're going through vacationrentalbyowners.com or vrbo.com, yes, you would meet them yourself. If you're using a rental company, you would actually let that rental company handle it for you because that's their job, and you would probably never see these people.
What do you do if you do have some valuables in your home? Obviously, you can lock some things up, but what if you have a game room with, you know, memorabilia, sports memorabilia, things like that?
You just make sure that you have good insurance coverage. You know, a lot of insurance policies do not cover collectibles.
Right.
You know, like if you have, an autographed picture of Muhammad Ali or Joe Frazier or something like that, they don't cover that in your normal homeowner's policy. You have to get a separate insurance rider for valuables such as that.
So the Super Bowl's over, you get your house back. Is it wise to go there before they leave to check out your house in front of them?
Again, that's usually what happens when the rental company rents for you. They will do that checkout inspection. If you are renting it for yourself, through vrbo.com, then you, in fact, would do that because there is a security deposit still held in the escrow account that you're going to release once it's been checked.
Right. All right. Well, we wish everybody the best of luck, and I think the number one thing you have to know is that you've got to go find another place to live.
That's exactly
so
right.
So now you're going to be finding, these these high-priced rooms and things like that. So have that planned out, obviously.
Exactly. Right.
So don't call me. You can't stay at my house.
I was going to just ask you that.
I might want to stay at your house. So we'll see how things work out. Thank you so much, Bob. We appreciate it. Good luck to you.
Good, Scott.
Well, Scotty?
Yes.
Scotty, my son's got a bunk bed you can sleep in, all right? You can come stay in Taylor's
Is
bunk.
it longer than 4 feet?
I'm not sure, but you can take the top bunk. I'm sure he'll let you have it.
There you go.
All right, it is 8:46. Let's take you to the west side of town. Not quite done with the rush hour just yet, but we're almost there. But from 75th Avenue in through downtown, it's about a 23-minute ride. You're going to see stop-and-go conditions throughout the entire ride into downtown Phoenix. Let me show you some of the different travel times out there. We are almost done with the rush hour, but still some slowing. And I-10 on the other side of town through Ahwatukee, Ray Road in through downtown. You're looking at a 22-minute drive there. And then if we take you to the north part of town, I-17 southbound from about the Metro Center down to the I-10, only a 16-minute ride. We are almost done with the rush hour there. That's a check of your traffic. And boy, we're going to get kind of a change-up. It's been so beautiful the past several days, but a bit of a change-up in the next few days.
Yeah, it's going to get a bit cooler and a little windy as well. And those winds are going to help us out in terms of our air quality. I want to show you one of our 3TV 360 cameras. This is a live view from Wrigley Mansion looking out toward to the south, and you can really see kind of that haze that's been hanging over the valley, that brown cloud. It's what comes with the stable conditions we've had, the warm weather and the light winds. It's felt nice, but it hasn't made breathing easy for a whole lot of people, and you can kind of see that brown cloud there hovering across the valley. Well, we've had very light winds, and that really has not helped us out. It's made for a kind of stagnant air mass. Well, we're going to get some improvement. Ozone going to stay in the good category today and tomorrow. And ozone's not our problem this time. If you're coarse particles or dust, will stay in the good category today and tomorrow. And fine particles, this is a big part of the issue here, in that moderate category today. But look at this. For tomorrow, we drop back into the good category. The windy weather that we've got on tap for today and really for tomorrow in the valley is going to help out. And because we're talking about winds from the north, that's not usually a direction that generates blowing dust. So sometimes windy days kind of helps to clear out the air, but then we see an increase in coarse particles because of the dust. But again, winds out of the north shouldn't be a problem with that. How about rain and snow with this storm? We're getting a little of it. It's mainly to the north of the valley and not coming all that close. But right now, we do have some showers developing just to our north across Yavapai County. Earlier this morning, we've had showers across Kingman and Lake Havasu City beginning to drop further south. And now some of that rain is moving into Chino Valley and Prescott over toward the I-17 17 a little bit more. We're looking clear for now, but we've got a little more snow shower activity beginning to develop on I-40 between Williams and Flagstaff. General snow totals that we're looking at from this system are going to be maybe an inch or two at the most, with snow levels only falling off to maybe 6,000 feet. So not a terribly cold or strong storm that's moving through our state, but it is ushering in a cool change and a windy change too. In eastern Arizona right now, fairly light in terms of rain and snow showers developing a little further east in areas like Greer and over into the White Mountains. We've got some snow this morning. It's not much, but we'll get a little bit more of that later today as a lot of this moisture works its way west to east across the state. For the valley, we have not had any rain this morning, and when you step outside, you'll notice some clearing skies. We still have a slight chance for some light rain, particularly across northern portions here of Maricopa County as the storm moves through today. But winds, again, going to be the big issue with this. Today, the winds are mainly going to be strongest in the western portions of our state, that Colorado River Valley. Throughout the morning, 25 to 30-mile-an-hour winds, and we'll put your timeline here forward into the afternoon hours today when the winds are going to pick up even more. And even across northern Arizona, we're looking at breezy conditions. It'll be breezy in the valley later today, 10 to 15-mile-an-hour winds. But our winds here are going to pick up tomorrow. They're going to become a little more widespread, these strong winds across the state. And by tomorrow morning, you can see that 10 to 15-mile-an-hour winds across the deserts of the state, and still windy in western Arizona. By tomorrow afternoon, we're talking about 15 to maybe even 20-mile-an-hour winds here in the valley, gusting potentially up to 30. And again, those winds will be out of the north, and they'll begin to calm down tomorrow night as we get into the overnight hours tomorrow and into Friday. Things will calm down, and we'll start to warm things back up as well. Today, 72 for your valley high, partly sunny, breezy, and about a 10% chance for some light rain. Tonight, 49 degrees for an overnight low, clearing skies, breezy tonight into tomorrow. The winds becoming a little stronger, and just 66 degrees for your afternoon high tomorrow. Windy, cooler, but sunny. That sunshine lasts into your Friday. The winds ease up. 67 for Friday. We'll pop back into the 70s for Saturday and Sunday. Still looking at our first 80-degree day of the year possible by early next week, but we're also tracking a slight chance of showers by next Tuesday. We'll keep you updated on that.
Time right now is 8:51. Keeping you health smart this morning. First, it was nearly 50 people who were visiting Disneyland. Now 5 employees at the park also have come down with the measles. The Orange County Healthcare Agency says at least 2 of those employees were vaccinated. So it obviously brings up the question, what happened? How did they get it? Well, apparently it could have had to do with their birthday. Those born before 1957 are probably immune due to exposure. Those born after 1971 may be immune if they've been vaccinated. But there's a big group of people right in between that may not be as safe as they think.
Anyone born between 1957 and 71, you definitely want to check, because the vaccines that were created in the 60s, at least one, we found later didn't work.
You can find out if you have a problem by a simple blood test at your doctor's office. Still ahead here on Good Morning Arizona as we come back from the break. Eating right, exercising. We know these are all important things to keep a healthy lifestyle, but doctors say they're apparently not as important as another key thing to do for your health. What we're talking about when we come back. It is 8:52.
Weather with Kim. Weekends on 3TV.
Love your car, but not your payment? Desert Schools can help, and we'll even pay you to refinance your auto loan with us. Up to $500 with 1% cash back. And with rates as low as 2.84%, imagine the savings on your monthly payment. You may also have up to 90 days before your first payment. That's a solution you can love as much as your ride. Refinance your first mortgage to save even more with Arizona's largest local credit union with over 50 branch locations. At Desert Schools, we're here for you.
Want to make a difference in your child's education? Parents are advocates for their students. They want to do what's best. A tuition-free online school program powered by K-12 could really benefit them.
The K-12 curriculum can work for any child at any level.
K-12 is individualized to fit any student, including advanced learners and students from kindergarten to college prep.
Now accepting statewide enrollments in Arizona for students in grades K through 12. Call today or go online for more information.
You give, and you give, and then you give some more. But sometimes you get, and so you take. Tylenol Cold is strong enough for you, while children's Tylenol is gentle enough for them. We give you relief from your cold and flu. You give them everything you've got. Tylenol.
Where do Phoenix women go to be their own kind of beautiful? Dr. Thomas G. Katoski.
I had all this sagging skin under my cheeks and jawline. The Quick Lift was just the perfect solution for me.
Discover the Quick Lift difference, the mini facelift that's smart, proven, lasting, and performed right here in Phoenix by board-certified facial plastic surgeon Thomas G. Katoski.
53 looks a lot better now.
Call 1-800-321-LIFT.
Hi, I'm Dan Davis, inviting you to join us on the AAA High Roads at our brand new time, 2 o'clock Sunday afternoons. We'll see you then.
All right, stop smoking, get more exercise, adopt a healthier diet, and see your doctor on an annual basis. 4 things doctors say can cut your cancer risk in half. And while it might seem like skipping that last one is not that big of a deal, Fields Mosley explains seeing your doctor on a regular basis is a key part of that formula.
Just that once-a-year check-in with your doctor is really important.
Dr. David Boyd with Cancer Treatment Centers of America says one of the best things you can do for your health
Open your mouth, say ah for me.
is see a regular doctor.
Making sure that you have a solitary source, one primary care provider that you can go and meet with and establish rapport and gets to know you throughout your lifetime really is an opportunity to take charge of your health.
Dr. Boyd says you should talk with that doctor about standard screenings for blood pressure, blood sugar, and cholesterol. And after that, there are specific recommendations for men and women at different ages. For young men, for example.
Let's start at age 18. So testicular cancer is something certainly to look for.
Dr. Boyd says you should speak to your doctor about any lumps or abnormalities. Both young men and women should talk about the HPV virus if they are sexually active. Men in their 40s should discuss PSA testing regarding prostate cancer screening. Colonoscopies for colon cancer screening began at the age of 50, and after the age 65, men who have smoked at some point in their lives are advised toward an ultrasound screening for an abdominal aortic aneurysm. For women 29 to 30, clinical breast exams with your doctor every year, and discuss a pap smear with your doctor. At age 40, an annual mammogram is recommended. At 50, colonoscopy for colon cancer screening begins.
Moving into age 65 and beyond, so consideration of screening for osteoporosis is also very important.
All these things are general guidelines. Some people need earlier screening, another reason to have a regular doctor and that annual exam.
It's key to have a good relationship with your primary care physician so that way they're aware of your family history and what nuances there may be.
It is a simple resolution, one visit a year, that could add years to your life.
There's so many times that you can, just a simple lab test, a simple blood pressure exam, simple conversation with your doctor that can sometimes find something before it starts.
And Dr. Boyd says that long-term relationships with the one doctor will help both of you feel more comfortable talking about any possible health issues as well. We'll be right back.
The